Hi, Ryan Hanley here, founder of Rogue Risk, where we do insurance differently, specifically by giving you information and knowledge so that you can make the right decision for your insurance needs. Today I want to talk about the high stakes of a cyber attack, and particularly I'm going to quote you some stats from a new cyber risk report that was just put out by the Hanover Insurance. And what they found is that 1 in 3 small businesses would not know how to respond to a ransomware attack. If someone came in and held your system hostage, which is what ransomware does. We did a whole video on ransomware. I'll have it linked up here. You can check it out. If someone came in and took control of your system and basically held it hostage, you could not get to your database, you could not process payments, you could not manage any inventory or any sales. They just lock your system down unless you pay a large sum of money. That's ransomware. 1 in 3 companies would not know how to handle that situation. 92% of respondents said that they would be negatively impacted financially. That's kind of like, duh, of course you would. If you couldn't use any of your systems, of course you're going to be negatively impacted financially. And this is the one that really scares me. 60% of small businesses who had a ransomware attack, right, which is a primary type of cyber attack, ransomware, hold your system hostage. 60% of those businesses would be unprofitable in 48 hours. Now, you may be saying, Ryan, look what happened with COVID. We're aware of what happens when we can't use our systems, which is essentially what's happening for many small businesses because people just aren't buying things. But what if they did start buying things and you couldn't use your system? Because hackers right now are just blasting out programs and viruses and little links inside of emails that are camouflaged as your spouse's name or your brother's name or your uncle's name or your boss's name. And they do this as a way to get you to click that link. And when you click that link, it installs software on your system that locks it down. And if you can't use your system, you're in big trouble. And on a standard business owner's policy, you are not going to have enough coverage for that. Now, thankfully, many business owners' policies have started adding an endorsement. They have all different names, Cyber One, Cyber Risk, Cyber whatever, that have a small amount of first and third party coverage on them. Sometimes they have a crime coverage, but we're often talking about $50,000 in coverage. If your entire business is locked down and you cannot operate, you cannot make sales, you cannot service clients, and in order to even be able to do those things that you can't currently do, you had to pay a large sum of money. Would $50,000 get that done? I just don't think so. Especially when the average loss, according to this report, the average loss of a cyber attack on a small business is $1 million. That's what it takes in terms of lost business, lost customers, lost new business, the actual payment, revamping all the systems, all the software that has to go in to make sure it doesn't happen again. You're talking about close to $1 million in loss if you have a major ransomware attack. This is happening to small businesses and your standard bot policy only gives you $50,000. I'm thankful that business owners' policies, the standard policy that most small businesses have, has started to add a small amount of coverage in. It's just not enough. That's the problem. That's why you need a standalone cyber insurance policy. And here's the kicker, guys, they're not that expensive. Now, if you have a very large business, you're handling very sensitive material, HIPAA material, if you deal with a lot of social security numbers, then you have a slightly larger risk. But in general, most businesses, this is not an expensive policy. And for a relatively small amount of money, you're getting $1 million in coverage. $50,000 on a standard business owner's policy, $1 million on a standalone policy. Cyber liability is as necessary for your business today as a general liability policy was a year ago. You need to think about cyber liability. And if you want a quote for cyber liability, that's what we do here at Rogue. We can walk you through the whole process. We can present you with multiple quotes and get you the right policy for your business. Just give us a call, 518-960-6600, or visit us online at Rogue Risk today.